Hi, everybody. Hope you're having a great Saturday. It's a beautiful morning. Sun's out. It's beautiful every morning, but a sunny day is beautiful as well. How's everybody doing? We have a great conversation coming up on this evening at 7 o'clock. And it's a spiritual out-of-body experience / near-death experience, because it does cross between both of those, actually. Lindsay Sharman is going to be on talking about that tonight at 7 o'clock p.m. EST time on Life, Death, and Beyond podcast. So definitely check that out. Great conversation. Love to hear the stories because we have a lot of takeaway from the stories. There's a lot of knowledge and wisdom that comes from when people share their stories. And that's part of why we're all here, is about the story, right? If you look back through all kinds of texts, they talk in stories, parables, and that's how we learn. We've always learned through stories and sharing them, so there's a lot of great information in them. It's not just about hearing the story, it's about the takeaway from the story, the experience, the lessons, because we're all here to learn lessons in life. And the more you can learn and observe and absorb, the more it's going to help you. You can make sense of your own life, right? And what is truth, what is not truth. And it just helps us to understand, especially if you're a seeker and you're going through an awakening, need healing, transformation. It's a great way to, start exploring. And we do appreciate everybody who supports the channel. It helps the channel to grow and flourish and get this information out to other people. If you like, share, and subscribe, these are all free to you to watch and to share. I know we do have some memberships on there. If you want to take a deeper dive in understanding yourself, you can become a member and support the channel. There are different levels, from 1 all the way up to, I think it's 5. And the last 2 are more of a deep dive, because the 4th one, there is an online monthly group where we do life review, our own individual life review. We look at our lives, we transform our lives, we heal our lives, we let go, we feel our feelings. Because when we have a situation in our life, we live from that set point that's been created. And that's the trajectory of our life. And when things don't go in the direction that we want, we are not able to navigate that, because there's that trajectory in there, and we need to release and transform that. And when we do that, our lives shift and things change, things come in, because you cannot be in alignment with one thing and then want another, because it just doesn't work. You have to transform and shift it. So we have the group online with me, and it's once a month. It's free as being a part of that level of membership. And then if you want one-to-one sessions, that's going to be the 5th level of membership, where we do one-to-one work if you need more in-depth individual work. So there's some options for the memberships. I'm also going to be adding some stuff to the memberships. There is a 22-step guide where you can work on your stuff, whatever it is that you're going through in life on your own individually. I'll be giving those steps in a free PDF. I think it's going to be either on the 1st or 2nd membership level, so it really depends. I don't know what I'm going to put it on. Maybe even on the 3rd. I don't know, but I'm working on that, and I'm going to be putting out some more PDFs so you can have access to that as part of the memberships, right? So definitely look out for that. That's going to be upcoming. These are things I've been guiding on to start sharing with everybody, because I've been through out-of-body, kundalini, near-death experience, astral travels, a lot of stuff, and my guides have been teaching me and helping me along the way, and now they're like, okay, it's time to start sharing this, You got to get it out. You got to start sharing it. You've been given the knowledge, start sharing it. And this is the best way that I can think of giving it to people without really having it cost a lot. And, I don't want to, what's been given to me freely as part of my journey, I don't necessarily want to just give it to anybody, but people who are really interested in wanting to and are on the path. Because there's got to be some kind of trade where people are really interested and invested. Because a lot of times people will get something that you give to them freely and they don't really appreciate it. So that's going to be part of the membership. Outside of the memberships, I do offer hypnosis, soul regression sessions, so you can do that. That's about a 3-4 hour session that you can find on my website. And that's going to be lauramolecavage.com. We got some people kayaking. Hi, everybody. Jaws. That's funny. Hi, John. Hi, Viper. How's everybody today? Where are you guys located? But yeah, like I was saying, like if you want to do soul regression, you can book that through my website. You can email me. All the information's in the, the comments or in the descriptions of all the videos. And then we do have people that come on to share their stories, and their information is also there. We do have recommended books for people who are awakening, want to do some reading on it. So we have those all linked as well. You can purchase those by following the links. And Lindsay is going to be on this evening, 7:00 p.m. EST time on Life, Death, and Beyond to do conversation. She had, it's like a near-death experience, and it can also be considered out-of-body experience because it does have both qualities to it. So it's really hard to say what it is, but it's definitely a spiritual experience. That does cross over between both of them, so check that out. And we're going to have some lives coming up, some Q&A questions with the previous guests that have been on, so look out for those. Those are going to be scheduled, so you know when that is. So like, share, and subscribe, and hit the notify me button, so when those come live, you are there. You can ask questions during it and get some answers. So I think that's going to be a new add-on. That's going to be a great topic and feature. I'm here just enjoying my morning walk and wanted to jump on and say hi to everybody. Say thank you so much for being a support to the channel, and for the guests that are coming on to share their stories and what they've learned and took away from these experiences, because it helps us grow and evolve. And there's also something that came in last night, because I do channeling and stuff like that. And it just kept repeating and repeating and repeating for me. And this kind of really goes along with the life review session, the online group that I have going. And what it basically was saying was how it came to me, if I can remember, because I didn't write it down. I got to start writing stuff down at night. Is what is cannot be changed, right? So whatever is in the past cannot be changed. It's the way it is, right? You cannot change it. What isn't yet, meaning the future experience, isn't yet. So we can change it, right? We can change the future by being mindful, being conscious, being aware, doing what we're doing, recognizing our own karmic cycles, patterns, and making changes, right? We don't have to follow our parents. We don't have to do what they did, and we don't have to have the experiences that they did, toxic relationships, abuse. We don't have to carry it. And we do get the downloads and the integration when we come into the body, because we're taking up both lineages from mother and father. We're taking up everything that they've been through and their ancestors, the ancestral line. So we inherit that, and everything that's within that we get. Right? It's like a box of chocolate, like Forrest Gump said, in that movie. right? And so we never know what's going to happen. But the important thing is that we take awareness to our lives. What's going on? What don't we want? What do we want to create? Is it in alignment? So we take a deep dive into that and transforming that in our lives. Because if you're trying to manifest something and it's not working, there's most likely something going on there that needs to be dealt with. So it's a great group that I'm starting up. So definitely jump on that. That's going to be a level membership if you wanted to join. Start transforming and manifesting a life that you want. We have a fishing boat out here. But then the other part of what came in last night is not only can we not change the past, but we can change the future. The addition to that is we can manipulate the past. So what does that mean, right? So we can manipulate the past of what happened. So we're healing generational lines. And that's why there's the Mandela effect, right? That's why they're like, okay, so you guys understand the Mandela effect. So that's why. It's because we can manipulate the timeline. And how do we do that? We heal the timeline. We change it, right? And whether we just do it for fun, they say, okay, the guy that came out and delivered checks to people say that never happened. I remember it happening, but I guess there's no real evidence that it actually happened. So there is a timeline, and that was most likely somebody manifesting that, right? So, and it started to come up. But when we look back, there's no proof. So it's all manifestation, different realities, different worlds coming in that we're creating. Maybe somebody wanted money and they needed it, and they manifested that somebody was going to bring them a check, and so it was created. But the Mandela effect is part of the manipulation of the timeline. And that's why we can heal ourselves. We can heal our generations. We can heal what we've been through in our families, in our lineages, to transform our lives in the present moment. Because once we do that, we straighten out the line. We don't no longer have to live from that space. So definitely check that out. That's the group. As part of the membership, you do get to attend once a month online, a sacred space for transforming our lives, doing a life review, looking at our lives, going into meditation, journaling, writing it down, and seeing what's coming up for you. Work through your emotions. It also helps you to open your clairs, open your intuition, your guidance, your connection to source, right? So we're going to be connecting in, doing a lot of deep dive work in the group. So definitely check that out if you're interested. But again, we have Lindsay coming up this evening. Yes, it definitely is. Hi, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Hi, Keith. Exactly. Thank you for sharing that. Yep. And I've been through a lot of the healing journey myself. Exactly. All right. I just want to jump on and say thank you, and to all the viewers, supporters of the channel. We're going to be having more things that come available as we continue to grow. More people come on to share their stories and their experiences. Oh, thank you for the sub. Much love. Thank you for sharing everything on here. And I look forward to doing some lives. We're going to have some live Q&As come up, so the guests are going to come back on and answer some questions. So check those out when they come available. Again, we have a conversation with Lindsay this evening, and it's a crossover between near-death experience and spiritual awakening and out of body. So it does have a lot of crossover, so it's hard to really indicate what it is, but it does have a variance of all of that. So definitely check that out. It's at 7 o'clock. It is, very much so. Being aware of our words is a very important. A lot of times I've learned through my life is just to be very slow and just speaking, just responding, but to be aware and pick my words kindly, because we create as we speak, as we think, as we do, our actions, thoughts, and our emotions. And before my awakening, I didn't understand that, but now I do, because I got to clean up the mess. Yes, it is. It's our wands, because it puts things out there, right? So we can think and think and think, and it's just starting the energy flowing. It's like God creating. If you think about how the creator created everything, source, God, whatever you want to call it, the thought, and then there was sound, which is the word. It's a vibration that's sent out, and then it becomes into something physical, manifested. So we really want to take a look at it. And that was something else that came in the other day, about manifesting was, because I was always saying, well, I'm always given the ideas, things to create, like paintings and this and that, but it's the action and the doing, right? So Source never had money to do it. It was first a thought, and then it radiated out into sound, vibration, energy, and became physical. So, yep. So there is some truth to biblical text. I'm not big on the biblical text or anything like that, but there is some truth to it. They've bended it, over years and generations, so you can't believe everything in it. But it's definitely part of our manifestation. And if we look at some of it, we can understand manifestation. Exactly. That's why I do the group. I've started up a group online, and we start becoming aware of those things in our lives, right? We're doing inner child work, we're doing inner healing, looking into the shadow, the subconscious, through meditation, journaling, and then feeling and healing and releasing, things that we've been through in life, because we're living from that space that was created, whether, it was separation, false beliefs, traumas, things like that. So awesome. It's your content as well. Exactly. Yep. Well, I'm glad to have you subbed and on the channel here. You're doing the same stuff. Thank you. Appreciate it. We need more people doing this. Definitely. So we can shift and transform. Got people over there kayaking, enjoying the day. I don't have my kayak anymore. I got to get a new one. It kind of got ruined. But bless you as well. Thank you so much. Much love. All right, I'm going to get going on my walk before it really gets too hot, and enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll see you again.